What if you had a strategy for finding your way out of failure? Hi, welcome to 5-Minute Fika, where we find the time to do a little self-care of the soul by thinking about true and beautiful things. Well, I don't know about you, but I have a gift for getting lost. Not many people get lost these days because of GPS, but I used to not believe in GPS. I used to think I was smart enough to find my way around without a GPS. I have since learned I was wrong. But in those days when I used to get lost all the time, there was one time when I was in high school, my friend and I got lost in downtown Chicago and found ourselves driving out of the most gang-infested block in the city. Another time when we had first moved to Germany, I would get lost all the time, but I knew we lived near the airport. And so I learned that if I could find my way to the airport, I could figure out how to get home. So anytime I got lost, I knew all I had to do was look for signs to the airport, go to the airport, and then I could get home. Well, this worked really well for a while until one day I went out a little farther than I realized. And when I was lost, I panicked and I started looking for signs for the airport, and finally I saw one and I was so excited. So I followed it and I followed it and I got to an airport I'd never seen before. And then I realized that the signs were a different color and in a different language. And then I realized it was because I had accidentally driven into another country. I was in Holland or in the Netherlands. So my little strategy didn't work so well then. But I've been lost in a lot of places with a lot of people, and I have a lot of stories to tell about getting lost. And finally, I realized that because it happens so often, I should probably have a strategy for not getting so frustrated with it. Because you know what happens when you get lost, right? First, you feel mad because you can't believe that you got lost, and then you feel really stupid because you're like, well, how did I get here? What turn did I make? What mistake did I make? And then you're scared because you think, well, how am I ever going to get out? Am I ever going to get home? And especially if you're late. It always happens when you're late, and you're all these emotions, you're mad, you're scared, feel stupid over and over again. And so that can really get you all worked up and make it even more difficult to find your way out. So I had to come up with a strategy to say, okay, I have to figure out how to deal with this. So finally I realized, you know what? Nobody has ever been lost forever. Maybe Amelia Earhart. But I always felt like, all right, you know what? I have been lost a ton of times. I've always figured my way out. I will see my mother again. And so I learned that if I just anticipate, you know what, when I take a trip, there's a good chance we're going to get lost. But if I know that it's coming, then it's not so tragic when it comes. And then we deal with it and we go on. And the magic words in my car, if you've ever been in my car, you know that it's just, that's okay. We can turn around. But the beautiful thing about this strategy is I realized that it can apply to other areas in our life as well. One area that it's particularly useful with is failure. All of us have times in our lives when we screw up, when we fail. And the beautiful thing about this strategy is being able to say, okay, that's all right, we can turn around. A lot of times failure can make us feel the same way getting lost does. We feel mad. We're mad that we're in this situation. And then we feel stupid because we've done something to cause the failure. That we feel like we made a bad choice, or we said the wrong thing. And then we feel scared. Like, what if there's no way out of this? What if there's no way back? What if I've gone too far? What if this failure is the end of me? Well, the great thing is, if you're listening to this, your failure wasn't the end of you. Every single one of us that are alive right now have made it through 100% of our failures and 100% of our mistakes. And chances are we've learned something. And I've learned that in my failures and mistakes, when I screw up, I can either waste time feeling mad and feeling scared and feeling stupid and blaming myself or even blaming other people. And I waste a lot of time, and that I could be figuring out how to just say, stop, it's okay, let's turn around. Because no matter what mistake you make, no matter what failure you experience, you can always move in a new direction. But you can't move in a new direction if you stay stuck, if you stay lost. And sometimes you're in circumstances that you can't turn the circumstances around, but you can always turn around on the inside. We can always turn our attitudes around. We can always turn our perspectives around. There's always something we can control in any situation. Even if I can't control any of the circumstances, I can control me. I can control how I respond to them. I can control what I do. And I can choose to turn around. I can choose to turn my attitude around. I can choose to turn my perspective and my response around. Getting lost is just a part of life. It happens. And failing is just a part of life. It happens. It's how we respond to these that defines what our life is like and what our experience with life is like, which is important because it's good to be alive. And you're not in this alone. And you, my darling, are spectacular. Have a great day.